I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and this week I thought I'd read a little Christmas story for you because we're getting to that time of year. This is a story about Father Christmas, but I need to make really clear this is not a children's story about Father Christmas. Do not listen to this one in the car whilst you're driving your kids to school or out loud with your kids in the room, because although it isn't a scary story, it is not a traditionally Santa-like Santa story. Consider yourself warned. Now, this story I wrote years ago, can't actually remember when, but I've recently polished it back up, and it's going to be in my upcoming short story collection, Myths and Monsters. This is called Berry's Bad Day. You have to understand, we didn't want this, said Berry nervously. Every elf in the workshop chose this job because we're passionate about bringing hope and joy and laughter to people all around the world. Yet here you are, threatening to strike days before Christmas, said Santa, stroking his beard. Something about the movement made Berry nervous, reminding him of a Bond villain stroking a cat. Happy to disappoint every child in the world, and for what? To make some kind of political point? Berry tried to swallow his nerves. He wished more than anything that it hadn't been him that drew the short candy cane. With respect, sir, it isn't about the politics. Whether we agree with the expansion or not, things just aren't workable as they are. He scrambled around for the words to explain, words that would make him understand. Santa rarely visited the shop floor, preferring instead to sit in the grotto with his sexy secretary, Mrs. Claus, and some of the perkier elves, counting out cookies and mince pies and basking in the adoration of the masses. He rarely saw the worker elves sobbing with exhaustion as they tried to work out how to craft the latest piece of gadgetry. We've become so focused on the side venture that we're losing sight of our original mission statement. Santa snorted, then leaned back in his chair, tucking his thumbs into his red braces. We have to move with the times, Bear, he said. Joy and hope are nice, of course, but that's not what the modern consumer wants. They want HD-ready, virtual reality-compatible, real-time gaming experiences. They want the latest smartphones suitable for socialising and work on the go. They want status symbols, material proof they're loved. The market has spoken. He said it with an air of finality that booked no argument, as if he had said it is written or God wills it. Berry took a deep breath, clenched his bladder against Santa's 1,000-yard stare and said, With respect, we don't serve the market. We never have. He flinched as Santa leaned forward, then ploughed on when he realised the big man was just taking a fat cigar out of the gold-plated case on the desk between them. We serve Christmas. Our primary job has always been to gift enough hope, compassion and joy to the world to see them through the year. We can't do that when we're tied up making drones and smartphones. Santa chewed on the cigar, raising a single fluffy eyebrow. Berry tried to fill the silence. We've always been about bringing people what they really need, he said. It's the reason most of us came to work at the North Pole Incorporated. I mean, we could cope with the workload when all we had to do was make a small wooden train and a yo-yo, but this is beyond a joke. It's all too big. It isn't what our job's all about. Your job, Santa said, is to make whatever the fuck I tell you to make. Hope, joy, laughter, outdated concepts not fit for a modern workforce. But it's our primary purpose. But nothing. Wittering on about love and peace like they're saleable commodities, going on like the humans are the important part of this. But sir, Berry interrupted, trying not to pee in his stripy tights, the humans are the only important part of this. They're the reason the firm was founded. Joy is what Christmas is all about. Wrong. Santa sat forward in his chair suddenly. You know what Christmas is all about? Me. I am Christmas. It's about what I say it's about. And I say it's about $14 billion sponsorship deals from Coca-Cola. It's about $200 billion per year contracts with Toys R Us. It's about Samsung and Apple entering into a bidding war with each other over who gets my endorsement. You think people care about love and joy and goodwill toward men? People care about getting one over on their neighbours. Nobody cares about our invisible gifts. People want things they can hold and show off and sell on eBay. But without our gift of hope, humanity will fall into darkness. I'm not saying don't give them hope. We'll do that alongside the material gifts like always. We can't keep up with the demand, sir, Berry said. We don't even have time to pee. Holly gave birth on the shop floor. She was too scared to stop work. When the festive Joy-O-Matic crushed Buddy to death, we didn't dare shut down the production line. We had to return the body to his family in a set of jumbo-sized crackers. We just can't go on like this. A pair of blonde, giggly she-elves burst in, but when they saw Berry, they stopped, uncertain of whether to come in or not. Santa raised a finger at them to wait. Berry eyed them distastefully. Tall, leggy wood elves had no place here at the pole. They weren't suited to the climate like the small, pointy-eared snow elves that traditionally ran the workshop. They were too flighty to work the shop floor and too noisy to fill the stockings. No one knew why Santa bothered employing them at all. This just isn't sustainable, sir. Listen here, you little shit, Santa growled. We might have started out as a two-bit not-for-profit, scraping together a living on stale mince pies, but I've moved on. I'm a someone now. He beckoned to the wood elves. And I'm not going back to being some small-time demigod scraping a living in the snow. You can do what you want as regards hope and joy and all that shit, just as long as you keep my profit margins up. I've got shareholders to appease. He pulled the identikit blondes onto his lap. You're dismissed, Berry. But, Berry, either run my corporation how I say, or I'll sack the lot of you. It'd be cheaper to outsource your jobs to China anyway. Go ahead, give me an excuse. You think no one wants your job? Santa fixed Berry with his ice blue stare. What more could he say? Berry was defeated. Understood, sir. Good. Now I make that 16 minutes you've been in my office. You can make that up at the end of your shift. Berry sagged, sighed, and trudged out to give his co-workers the news. Now then, my lovelies, Santa said, nuzzling into one of the elves' necks. Which one of you is naughty, and which one is nice? I hope that you enjoyed Berry's Bad Day. I don't think Berry did very much. And like I said, that story will be in Myths and Monsters, which is my upcoming short story collection. As soon as I know when exactly it will be out, I will let you know. I was aiming to do it this year. It might have been a bit of a tall order because this year we also have the first book in the Summer Realm trilogy coming out. That's Agents of Secrets and Lies. You can pre-order that now for half price. I'll put the link in the description. It's been a great fun time on that project with 3 other authors. Bringing together this trilogy has been so much fun. It's steampunk fantasy. I think you will love it. And if you enjoyed that particular story, you can also find similar ones in my Strange Stories series, which is Strange Love, Strange Worlds and Strange Times. You can find fairy tale retellings in my book Once Upon a Twisted Fairy Tale. And you can find a longer short story, The Tale of Two Princes, which is a sort of Men in Black retelling of Sleeping Beauty and the Frog Prince. I had a lot of fun writing that one too. And if that wasn't enough for you, or you've read all my books already, you can also follow me on Patreon and see my stories in their very early stages before they go on to be in my books. Next week, I am, I think, going to be talking about blending pagan traditions, Christian traditions, and secular Christmas traditions together to make a winter celebration that works for my whole family, which is a real challenge. And then the week after that, I think we're going to be talking about liminal magic. So if you can't wait until then to see me though, I do understand. I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. Sometimes I'm letting you know what's challenging me that day. And I will also be here on a Witchy Wednesday doing an intuitive tarot card pull for you as well. I do normally have readings open. I think by the time this goes out, I will have closed them to give myself a little holiday. So like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mum. And either way, you have yourself a magical week.